Click, watch, and connect. Good day, everyone. This is Springzale Daniel, and welcome to OceanClick TV Live. So, this episode is still part of our second anniversary special, wherein we invite some of our valued clients to share about their business and about themselves. And right now, we are already on our fifth week. So, for this episode, hosting with me is OceanClick's marketing officer, Hope Tinambakan. Hello, Hope. I hope is able to hear me.
Hello, yes. I can hear you. Hello, Josh. Hello, Spring. Um,
All right.
I'm very honored and happy to be invited to host the show with you. I hope you can hear me. I think we're having a little bit of connectivity problem, but I hope it's getting better. Hello to everyone for watching us online. We are live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Hope. And yes, that's right. We are live now in YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And I am very happy to introduce our guest for today. We have with us someone who has worked in the financial industry for 13 years already and can't wait to learn from him. So let's welcome Josh Payne. Hello, Josh.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me and congratulations on your second anniversary. That is
Thank you.
amazing, awesome, and I can see why by the work that we've done together with your team, why it has certainly made it to that point, and no doubt is expanding and growing. So congratulations.
Well, thank you so much, Josh. I know you're really busy. So, this is for us, it's really an honor that you're taking time off from your busy work and that you're here with us today. And so, before Hope, I know Hope has some questions. And it's just that I'm getting a lot of feedback. Maybe Hope, you can mute your mic a little bit. I think Hope is frozen. I hope not.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of feedback from you, Hope. Let me check what we can do about that. Yeah, so anyway, I think Hope is having some problems with connectivity,
Okay,
but yes. But
sorry about
before
that.
I would like to, no problem. So, yeah, I believe Hope has a lot of questions for you because, of course, he's also doing social media management work. So, I just want to introduce first our very special guest, Josh. So Josh is a Silicon Valley speaker, right? Mentor and financial coach, and he has coached or trained and developed over 150 licensed agents throughout the U.S., specializing in investments, insurance, and mortgages. He is driven by his passion to break down the systemic problems of his country of lack of equal access to financial education and resources across all economic borders. And I believe, Josh, you're also in a mission to ensure every family has a fundamental plan and clear direction to a successful financial future. Also, Josh here is an athlete. And in 2017, he was inducted into the Sacramento State Baseball Hall of Fame. Wow. Once again, Josh Payne.
Thank you so much, Spring. Yes, it's feels like time has just gone like this. I can remember back when I was an athlete many years ago, and now being in business. Now it's actually clicked over 14 years. So time just flies, and it just feels so blessed and fortunate that we've been able to do some of the things that we've done and impacted the lives that we've been able to impact. But in all reality, we're just getting started, right? I mean, we're going through a period of growth right now that is exciting, and man, we feel so uh, so um, passionate
Mm-hmm.
about our mission to break down those systemic problems in our country of lack of equal access. See, traditionally, we know that unless you're born into the privileged class or born with
Yeah.
a tether spoon in your mouth, right? A lot of this financial education that we're able to bring to families isn't taught, and so we're on that mission to ensure financial literacy for all. And
Mm-hmm.
we're very passionate about that, and we're very passionate about helping people get out of the 9 to 5 and into the entrepreneurial world where they actually have a better chance in a much faster time to accomplish the goals and dreams that they want for their family by getting into business for themselves and doing something extraordinary with a high level of impact and in an environment that makes such a difference for our country.
And that's really amazing because you know what? One of the things that we are also doing here in Ocean Click is we also have a financial literacy program for all our agents. Of course, we're just starting and we're just getting to know the basics, especially about those government mandated benefits and all that. But
Mhm.
hopefully someday we'll reach your level. We'll.
Absolutely. The fact that you have that is awesome. And I've seen it on your social media before as well. And I commend you for doing that with the team. That's just great.
Well, thank you so much. And we'll be looking into, some of the things, the materials that you put out there and see what we can uh, eh, get from it. And of course, we're very happy. I mean, we do know that there are differences between US policies and
Right.
systems and for us, but still, like, just the basic knowledge and just the mindset
Yeah.
that you are imparting to those that you've trained is quite similar to what we want for ourselves here. So
Absolutely.
it has been very helpful. I'm always following you on your social media, and I see all those very empowering quotes there as well.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
so yeah. Also, I do think that I'll be doing the questions for today. I believe Hope has a technical problem,
Sure.
so I'll be the asking you today's question.
Perfect.
So one of the first that um, I think our audience are curious about how it all began. How someone like you with such a long experience in the financial industry, right? You already have over a decade under your belt. So, what inspired you to pursue a career in the financial industry? How did
Yeah,
it all start?
that's a great question. And it's really a an awesome part of our story. And the
Mm-hmm.
way we got started is at 31 years old, we've sat down with a financial professional for the first time, my wife and I. And when we sat down, I was so blown away by the process. And I thought to myself when we were done, I said to Tracy, I said, how in the heck were we never taught this information? Right? We're educated, we got several degrees from college between us, yet we were never taught this information. And secondly, was how are we going to ensure that our family and friends get this same information as well? And so it was that that moment that I said, I know exactly how we're going to ensure that, and that's in that I'm going to get licensed, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to sit down with them, and I'm going to make sure that they get the information, right? And I said, hey, who knows if I'll be successful in this business, whatever, but we'll make sure they get the information. Well, 14 years later, here we are. And I was part time in the business for a couple of years, made money, saved money, got to the point where I was able to fire my boss, came full time, and then a couple of years later, retired my wife from teaching, and then here we are. Uh, we've been working together in this business for the last 8 years. And it looks like you're frozen, Spring. We'll get her right back. Our host here. Good to see you, Shina. Good to see you, Marcia, Ransel. How you doing? So happy you guys are here.
This is this is
Hi, Cyrus. Good to see you.
all right. Can you hear me?
That's better.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is very interesting. We're taking turns right
Yeah,
now.
no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, the weather here is quite bad. That's why our connectivity is,
Ah, gotcha.
yeah, yeah. But
Gotcha.
I was
Okay.
listening to the both of you, but now that she's gone, I'm taking over.
Sure.
Okay, and hope she'll be back soon.
Sure. You got it. So
All
she
right.
just asked what prompted me to get started in the business, and I just kind of finished that answer, and then I
Mhm.
realized halfway through that I thought she was frozen, and then
Yeah.
she disappeared. So
All right. Yeah. Now I want to ask you about your experience as an athlete. Yeah.
yeah.
You're in baseball and you're
Hmm.
pretty famous.
Yeah.
and
Well,
and I want, yeah. What did you learn from being an athlete that you were able to like somehow apply
sure.
in right now?
I definitely think it's one of my superpowers in business were the lessons I've learned as an athlete. Since I was 5 years old, you couldn't find me without a baseball or a glove or a bat. My entire life was driven to play professional baseball, and I went to college on a baseball scholarship, and everything was going exactly how I planned. It was had a great career and appeared in Sports Illustrated, was all conference MVP, and eventually inducted into the Hall of Fame. But everything came crashing down when I suffered a back injury, and it basically kind of eliminated my chance of playing at the next level. And so it was at that point that I had a decision to make. It was right before my senior year. I had the injury. I rehabbed all fall and was cleared to play the second game of the year. And I just used that as fuel to drive me to work harder, to perform better. And I guess so. What I learned as an athlete. Look, and it's so reflective in business, right? We can't control all these all outside things, right? I mean, in a day-to-day basis, like connectivity because of a storm or whatever, we can't really control that. The only thing we can control is, in essence, our attitude and our activity. And in the sports world, that might have been my work ethic and attitude. And in the business world, when I say activity, it's what are the things I'm doing on a daily basis to get the results that I need to get in business, and then having a great attitude with it, knowing that 90+% of winnings being an excited, motivated, turned on person. As I sit here in COVID lockdown, I guess, because having been tested positive just a day or so ago, I had a choice. Am I going to let that defeat me, or am I going to stand up and be strong and know that I can keep going and just kind of handle whatever comes my way? So those are some of the things as an athlete that taught me how to be successful in business, was to how to handle adversity and keep going. Keep your eyes on the goal and keep moving forward no matter what comes your way.
And hello again. Sorry about
And
that. I'm back. I heard about the athlete part and how we're able to overcome
Wow.
adversity. And it's really, I do believe that being an athlete, like what you've said, helps us get that mindset because I'm not like that level, but I also played for the university. I played in the women's football team or soccer for
soccer.
for those in
Uh-huh.
Europe. So yeah, just being able to develop that kind of discipline in your sport.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
hope yeah, please do continue with your questions now that you're here.
We're having a little bit of struggle, but yeah, excuse me. I think Josh, that was a very inspiring story. But you have to, what we can control is our attitude, so we have to be positive with this one right now. And yeah, but you said you were on a mission to ensure every family has a fundamental plan and clear direction to a successful financial future, which somehow you learned as an athlete as well. When athletes also you're not able to handle their finances well. But how is it right now in your country? What do you think about the current knowledge and practice of people in your country in terms of financial literacy?
Yeah, good question. Thank you, Hope. And the reality is that 64% of our country is on track to being broke at retirement. Statistics tell us. And that's 2 out of 3 people. So we've got an incredibly large challenge ahead of us as it relates to delivering this information. And that's why we're focused on building an army of champions that want to get out there and make a difference, that see the same vision that we see, that have the same passion for the crusade that we have. And ultimately, when I think about this, I just think about, if that's the case, what's that going to mean for my children and my children's children if there's this large amount of people are ill prepared for the older, for the their older years. What's that going to mean for them in terms of having to take care of so many people? It's like we've got to get this country and everyone on track with just the basic fundamental concepts of how to be successful financially. And that's really what drives us. And it's making sure it's not just the people at the top that get all the information, but everybody has a chance for it. And that's what we love. And we know that the market is so big, the need is so high, that unless we grow our reach by growing the number of licensed agents we have to serve the market, not enough people are going to get served. And so that's really, our passion to grow and be at every kitchen table we can be at to ensure that they get the information.
Be at every kitchen table, right?
Yeah.
That's really it. That's the goal because I believe when you started, you said you mentioned like how come you didn't know things that that financial advisor was teaching you, where in fact you've gone through high school, college, or you and your wife are both college degree holders, and yet there's information there that's not, that wasn't taught, not taught in schools. How about now? Um, is it different? Is it being taught more in schools or?
No, that's one of our major challenges, is
Mm,
it's not taught anywhere. And so, of course, all the information's out there, right?
yeah.
But human nature is that uh, we are less inclined to go seek the information than we are to receive it, if you will, in my experience. And that goes across all walks of life, right? I mean, there's tons of information on there how to live healthy, but people still live an unhealthy life, right? So, this is part of it, is that
Correct.
we've got to deliver this information. We've got to sit down in a way that people understand, right? I mean, I think probably ourselves as well, prior to receiving the information, you think about this topic and you're like, oh my gosh, that's such a complicated topic, and it's
Mm-hmm. Yes.
intimidating. And so we just kind of sweep it under the rug and forget about it. But that doesn't work as it relates to planning for the future. Time is either our best friend or our worst enemy, and we've got to get the information. We've got to implement the proper steps early so that we have the best shot of accomplishing our goals.
That is very, very true. And I've experienced that myself as well, because like you, as a college degree holder, that also was not taught to us in schools. And so at first I didn't actively reach out and seek that kind of information. So it's only in my 30s that I started doing that. So now here we are. but
Right, right.
but yeah, in my 20s I wasn't. So you're right. There is a need for people with your advocacy to really go out there and get people to not be intimidated by this kind of information and education.
Yeah.
Um, Hope, do you have another question? I'm not sure if you can hear me real time.
Yes, a little delay, but you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a little bit of struggle here. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Um, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Okay. You've been in this business, Josh, for quite a long time, and you have a lot of questions about this topic. And what are the common questions that people actually ask regarding financial literacy, and think are the things that people must fundamentally learn about it?
So if I understand your question, because it was a little low on the volume, um, what are the most common questions? And then what are the things that people need to know about financial literacy? Is that what
Yeah,
the question, the second part of the question?
yeah. The what are the
Y-
common questions that people ask you in your talks, and yeah, when you're coaching, and yeah, what do you think they should fundamentally learn about it?
Yeah. So obviously, there are fundamentals that the questions range from, you know, all over the place. I don't know that there's any common questions. I think that one of the big things that's common amongst many is belief. If I
mhm.
do the right things, do I believe that I can accomplish uh, success as it relates to my financial situation? Where does that come from? That comes from the programming and what I call the money DNA that people have based on the programming they grew up with, right? And really, that's the starting point, and it's the mindset side of it. It's reprogramming those limiting beliefs towards money. Things like, maybe you grew up hearing money doesn't grow on trees, or what do you think I'm made of money, or turn off the lights, you're wasting energy, right? All of these comments that really what they're doing is they're programming the mind with some limiting beliefs around money. And so the first part of really kind of growing our perspective around it is growing the mindset. And so the biggest challenge I see people have is the belief that they can do it. because they've never seen it anywhere in their environment. All the people they were surrounded around, they've never seen success. And so maybe we don't have the awareness that I can be successful, that I can do it, that more is available for me. And until we have that awareness and the belief that we can do it, we won't put the right actions into play. Okay. So that would be kind of, maybe to that first question, kind of what are some of the main thoughts or things that I see a lot of people have, and it's those limiting beliefs. And when we can increase the awareness and we can increase the belief, now they can start taking action in the right way. And then those fundamentals are just, things like, hey, you got to pay yourself first, right? You've got to put yourself at the head of the line. You got to pay yourself first before you pay anybody else. Because if you try and pay yourself at the end, then you'll have no money left, right? But if we pay ourselves first, we'll make adjustments, and making sure that we work hard for our money. We got to get our money working hard for us. And obviously, when you go, how do you, what recommendations? That's all independent. Naturally, we have different regulatory environments, so I couldn't say what's best for you guys, but and it's all individual anyway. But the key point of, look, we work hard for our money. We got to get our money working hard for us, right? So that we can get to the point where we can accomplish the goals and dreams we want for ourselves and our family.
I'm going to pay myself first. That's what I heard
Right.
there.
Right.
I should too.
Right.
That's a great thing
And
to learn.
understand, time is everything, right?
Yeah.
Time, when you look at years, that it's not sexy, right? I mean, it's not sexy. It's not exciting. It's like you see very little change over a long period of time, and then the compounding interest takes off, and you can see a lot different results towards the end. So it's that those simple daily disciplines over time that equal the success for families financially.
Awesome. So, I mean, this is very encouraging, and this is really, giving us this where to start in terms of like just changing the mindset, and that's free. You don't need to, you don't need anything. You don't need to pay for that just to be able to change your mindset. But in the other
That's right.
end, I'd like to ask Hope. I know Hope wanted to ask this question, but I'm gonna go ahead and ask it anyway. We're
Just
curious,
go ahead.
especially in your 13 years of experience, about the challenges that you faced and how you overcame those challenges. Because I'm pretty sure, in everything that we pursue, there's always those hurdles.
Yeah,
So, can you give us a little bit um, about that? Yeah.
definitely. I think there's a few that stick out for me. They're kind of those core wins, if you will, over time. Uh, coming into a business like this, where I didn't come into the business to speak all over the United States and here across the world. Um, I was an introvert, and I was just as comfortable sitting in the corner of a room and observing everybody else than naturally than I was being the one really creating conversation. So as I got started in business, I realized that was a barrier, that was going to be a barrier to my success and to the level I wanted to have success. And so I just looked at it and said, okay, well, if that's one thing that's standing between myself and my goals and dreams, then bring it on. I'm going to figure out, I'm going to go through it, around it, over it, under it. I'm going to find a way to get that and remove that from being a barrier to my goals and dreams. It was like, that's not going to stand in the way. And I think that relates back to my time as an athlete, and just that hard nose, put your nose down, go to work. And with the determination that nothing is going to stop me. Not an injury I had, not somebody telling me I can't do it, not being an introvert, getting into business where I talk to people every day, all day for 12, 14, 16 hours, right? So it was that determination that nothing is going to stop me. Now it hasn't always been great. There's been ups and downs. So what takes me through the downs and gets me back to the ups is just same thing, is not taking my eyes off the end result that I desire. Keeping my eyes on my goals. I write my goals every morning and I write them every night. I write my goals every morning and I write them every night. What does that do? It keeps them on my mind. It keeps me, it's like the autopilot on an airplane that once an airplane gets off track, the autopilot gets it back on track, and then it gets off track, it gets it back on track. And that's the process I've used as I write my goals every morning and every night, right? So it's these things that we all have total control over. Mainly all of it is the mindset, right? Nothing is physical. Everything's the mindset. How it's like you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I just constantly make sure that I'm focused on the right things. So when there's down times, I got the right mindset, I've got the right focus. I know what my end goal is. I stay focused on the goal and I keep moving forward. I just don't stop. I keep packing it in and packing it in and packing it in. And eventually, it explodes and success happens.
That is amazing because I've heard, some of these quotes, right? Wherein like it's not that you become great just like that. There's a lot behind it, right? And it's really that kind of mindset. Because as an
Absolutely.
introvert, I can't believe that you're an introvert with the
Yeah.
way that you speak and deliver those
That's
points
right.
there. It shows that this is years and years of experience and being in front of people and 16 hours of talking to people. It clearly
Yeah,
shows.
absolutely. Yeah. I was going to say, I forgot what I was going to say. You mentioned something. Um, oh, well, it'll come back to me, and I'll come back to it.
Okay. And okay, Hope, do you have one more question?
Yeah, I have one more question. I'm curious about how important your social media presence is for this kind of work. And if I may ask, what impact did OceanClick services have on
Yeah,
your workload and then on your social media movement and presence?
absolutely. So for 12 years of our business, technology was virtually non-existent. Now there was
Yeah.
social media and you dabble around in it, whatever. But for 12 years, it was non-existent. Then COVID came, and the shutdown of our
Mm-hmm.
country came, and all of a sudden we had to say, "Wow, what are we? How are we going to adjust to this?" And so we went from no technology to 100% technology, and I had to find another way to prospect and grow our business. And so I looked to social media as a major player, a major avenue of that growth. It was the only, I mean, we couldn't really leave our houses, we couldn't get in front of people. So that was a way to establish communication with people. And and so social media now is the business card or the resume of who I am. And we all know that if you meet somebody or whatever, the first place they're going to go is they're going to look you up on social media and say, "Who is this person?"
Yes.
And
That's right.
That is
for
right.
me, yeah, for me, I got around some people that really helped me kind of formulate how I wanted that to come across on social media. We are very limited on what I can talk about in terms of our business because of the regulations. Being a licensed, um, a registered representative. So I had to build a brand around that was attractive to people, that was compliant. And so in doing that, started to build that brand, and then just realized that someone like OceanClicks, as we connected, could serve in a very defined manner for us on things that free up my time, to do the to be on appointments and to be working with our team and our clients. But yet I had to, there's an aspect of what we do in terms of marketing that had to take place. And that's where OceanClicks has served as an incredible resource for us, as we're really defining what the key measures are on the marketing, and fine tuning that process. I just really see it as an opportunity to grow, and really help us take things to the next level here in the second half of 2022.
Well, thank you so much, Josh, for that. And yeah, for us as well, even for me personally, when there's so much social media platform, when you have more than like about half a dozen social media, it's very difficult to just really be present in all of them and do what you do, coaching, um, and getting and educating people, to find that time doing that and doing that.
Yeah.
And then it's quite difficult. So um, we are very happy that you came to us so that we can help you out with those time consuming parts so that you can do what you
Yes.
do best.
Yes, and your team has been great. I know some of them are on. Marcia and Cyrus were on, and Shina was on, and Ransel. I mean, they're just amazing to work with. We've been very, very blessed.
Thank you so much. I'm pretty sure they're very happy to hear that. And since it will be played in our second anniversary special,
You make
I'm
sure
pretty
I tell everybody that those people are amazing, right? First, we started with Cyrus, and she was amazing. In you know, promotion, congratulations. And Shina's been great, and Marsha's awesome. And so, just very, very blessed to be able to work with them.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
yeah, before we go ahead and wrap things up, I do want to have one last question here for you. Um, so this is a question. I think Ransel is the one asking this because he's preparing for his family life. And he's asking if to prepare for our family's future, I'm looking into investing in equities or Forex. I've read that in the upcoming global recession, Forex seems to be the better investment since there are winners and losers in the currency that's being traded, unlike equities where it's more losers in a bear run, especially in a global recession. What's your take?
Well, as a registered representative, I don't have the ability to answer that on an open stage like this.
Okay.
But I would just say, educate yourself. Educate, 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 and get it from credible sources, and then put a fundamental plan in place, and just know that, look at it long term, and put the work in on the education front. And once you feel like you've got that, put your plan in place, execute it, and just know that time and consistency wins.
I see. Thank you so much for that. I mean, I know Ransel really wants to be learning a lot of this because, in fact, he is our financial literacy director for our program. So, so yeah. Um, Anyway, because we had a lot of technical problems earlier and even until now, so we've gone a little bit over time, and I believe Hope is isn't with us anymore. But hopefully, when next time he'll be able to join us till the end.
Yeah,
So,
no problem.
all right. Well, Josh, thank you so much for for taking your time to join us and for sharing your knowledge. I believe I learned a lot just with this very small time that you've given us. I learned quite a lot from you today. So thank you so much.
You're most welcome, Spring. It's been great, and I appreciate everything that you guys have done for us, and look forward to keep growing and keep winning.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes,
We will keep that in mind. All right.
absolutely. All right.
So, to all our audience, thank you. And we hope that you learned something as well from this episode. And please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions or inquiries. And you may contact us through the different social media platforms. Just search for OceanClick Virtual Solutions on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And you can also book an appointment with us through our website, which is oceanclick.biz. Also, do please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is OceanClick TV. And don't miss our final episode for this anniversary special next week. This has been Springzil Daniel, and earlier Hope Tinambakan was with me, and our special guest for today, Josh Payne. Thank you so much. And this is Ocean Click TV. Click, watch, and connect. See you next time.